Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun to lean on. Today we started a new week in Shulchan Aruch Yomi, Siman Reish Vav 206, Hilchos Berachos HaPeiros. We're dealing here with mistakes you make by Berachos HaPeiros. I want to talk about the concept of Berachos Hanenin. It's a separate perek, right? In Ketzah Mavarch and Brachos, the seventh perek of Brachos, which is devoted mostly to Berachos Hanenin. It's called brachos hanenin. There's different types of brachos. There's brachos you make before you do a mitzvah. There's brachos you make shevach v'hodah. You thank Hashem. Brachos hamazon is the type of shevach v'hodah. You make a bracha when you see lightning, shevach v'hodah, praising Hashem and things like that. But this brachos hanenin are a unique category of brachos. And what are we doing when we make the bracha? So one of the halachas today we learned is that you're supposed to hold the object of the food that you're eating in your right hand, because whatever hand is strong. If you're lefty, you hold it in your left hand. Why do you have to hold it in your hand, and why does it have to be in your right hand? And the answer is because Berachos Hanenin is a bracha is to prepare you for the enjoyment, right? One of the most enjoyable thing in the world is eating, and in order to properly enjoy it, right, you enjoy things much more when you focus on what you're doing, right? If you just go through life and you're running and catch a train or something like that, and you're eating something, you're not going to enjoy it as much if you sit down and you focus on it. You say a bracha. What am I about to eat? A specific bracha, right? If it's bori pra'ez, pri'adama, wine, gefen, right? Gefen, hamotzi. You think about where Hashem gave it to you. It's not that you're thanking Hashem for it. It's that you're preparing to specifically note exactly what it is and prepare to get benefit from it. And that's what Berachos Hanenin is, a preparation in order to get benefits. You want to hold it. You want to focus on it. You want to hold it in your strong hand, right? Because you're strong. You focus more on your strength, right? On your strengths. So that's what you want to do over here. Now, there's another halacha over here that if you say a bracha levatala, you have to say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Lamed. There's halacha vav, right? Which is not clear that in other places you have to say this, right? If you make a bracha mistake in Birchos Hashachar or something like that, you have to say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Lamed. If you made a bracha without you said it already, you already said the bracha Anosei and the Sech Vivina, right? You already made the bracha. You may say it a second time. You say Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Lamed. Some people will say you do. I personally don't think you do. It's a very serious thing. Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Lamed. We only say it Kriya Shema, right? We say it quietly at Kriya Shema. We say it also in the Beis HaMikdash when they said Hashem's name on Yom Kippur. We talk about that the avoda that they would answer Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Lamed, and they heard Hashem Vora Hiyotzim Pi Kohen Gadol. So it's a very serious thing, and a lot of Rishonim learned that a bracha levatala you violate Issur D'Oraisa, right? If you make a bracha on a fruit, right, and the fruit was you already made a bracha. You made a bracha a second time on the fruit. So it's a bracha levatala. You say Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Lamed. You made the wrong bracha on a fruit, which is not Yosef with the Eved. For example, right, you have a piece of chocolate, and you said a gefen. You said eitz. According to most poskim, eitz is the wrong bracha on shakal. So you're not Yotze. That's a bad example. Shakal, a lot of people say eitz is the correct bracha because it comes from the cocoa bean. Let's say you're drinking orange juice and you said you're drinking you're drinking orange juice is another bad example. Some people say eitz on the orange juice. Also, the Chazon Ish says that. Let's say a piece of meat and you say bori pra'ez, right? A piece of meat and say bori pra'ez. That's for sure the wrong bracha. It's bracha levatala. Say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Lamed because you violated. Poskim say Lo Sisa Shem Al Kech L'Shab, which is the third of the Aseres HaDibros, Parshas Yisro, not this past week, 2 weeks ago. Parshas Yisro, Lo Sisa Shem Al Kech L'Shab. Now, how is it? Berachos Hanenin is only the Rabbanan for sure. There's only two brachos from the Torah, Birchas HaTorah and Birchas Hamazon. Those are the only two brachos from the Torah. These are the Rabbanan. How can you violate this D'Oraisa? So the answer is that the concept of eating of Hana in the world, the real sod, the real secret. I'm telling you one of the big secrets in the Torah. The secret of one of the Aseres HaDibros, the principal thing that it's talking about is the Torah wants you to benefit from this world in every possible way, as much as possible. And those are all the mitzvahs. That's the sort of all the mitzvahs. And Hashem wants you to make a bracha on things you enjoy. To make a bracha on things you don't enjoy, right? That's a bracha levatala. That's the real bracha levatala. Bracha levatala is not, right, you had a piece of meat and you said bori pra'ez. The real bracha levatala is when you make a shahakol on neck meat, because neck meat is not so good. People like putting neck meat in their cholent. I don't know, neck meat is not good meat, or you have meat from the shoulder, and it's not cooked the right way. Eating foods that you don't like. And I believe there's objectivity in this. Everyone will say, Tam varech ein vitvakeach, right? But one person likes, a different person likes something else. No, ein vitvakeach, there's nothing to argue about. There's objectivity. People who like certain foods that other people don't like, right? They don't have class. They don't have a developed palate, right? Eating is a learning experience, just like, learning Torah, right? Developing your palate, and that takes a lot of work. You have to buy expensive meats. You got to buy the rib steaks. You got to buy the pargit, the baby chicken. There's a lot of food. Salmon is something which is good fish. Don't buy the gefilte fish. Making a shachal and gefilte fish, in my opinion, is a bracha levatala, because according to the real Soda Torah, because it's not something people like. It's disgusting. There's no one else in the world eating gefilte fish. Yes, a lot of people eat salmon. No one's going to eat gefilte fish. So making a bracha, even if it's the right bracha, that's the real source of bracha levatala, where the poskim talk about you're saying a bracha levatala because it's not because you're invoking God's name on something you don't really enjoy. People don't enjoy. You think you enjoy it, you don't really enjoy it, and the reason is because you're doing something, you're wasting your appetite and your stomach on something you don't really enjoy. You got to eat stuff you enjoy. You got to figure out what you enjoy. It's not easy to figure out. And then you got to find those things and buy them. Sometimes they're expensive, and make them the right way, right? Rib steak, you don't want to overcook it. You want it to be medium rare. Lamb chops the same way. So you want to eat it the right way, and then you can make the correct bracha. So it's more inclusive bracha levatala. Even if you make the right bracha, right? According to my opinion, this is my explanation. This is not halacha l'maisa. I'm just telling you the sod. These posts are telling you the drasha, which is not the whole truth. I'm telling you the real truth. But right now, the world's not ready for the real truth right now. So you do like the poskim say, and again, the correct bracha on making gefilte fish is shahakal. You shouldn't eat gefilte fish without making shahakal. You shouldn't eat gefilte fish at all. I recommend, because it's disgusting. But for some reason, Jewish people like to eat this with a lot of chrein. There's no other way to eat it because you don't want to taste it. It's disgusting. But the point is that that's the real bracha levatala, and it's a serious thing. If you said a bracha levatala, you say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Olam Va'ed. You really cause a disgrace to Hashem. Hashem gave us the world to enjoy as much as possible, and you failed right now. You failed to enjoy it by making a bracha on something you really don't enjoy. So that's why you say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Olam Va'ed over here. And also, I'll add one halacha lamaisa, according to what I'm saying, even though again this is not lamaisa. In Siman Hey we talked about if you make a bracha on one food, have in mind to exempt a different food, right? You have bracha on apples, and you want to exempt pears with it, right? Or you had a bracha on apples, and they brought more apples after you didn't only bring more apples. So the basic halacha is, if I have in kavana, I have das to exempt something. I'm drinking, right, Glenlivet, and I have pastrami at the table. So at the table, or if it's not at the table, I had kavana, I want to be mostly everything, or you have in mind pastrami. You don't have to make a specific bracha on the pastrami. The way I think, and one person actually suggested this to me, he said, you should make a bracha on every food you eat. It's true. Every food, unless it's the same exact minute, unless you're eating apples and someone brings you more apples, then I understand you already made the bracha, you focused on the hana of the apples. But every new food that you like is a new enjoyment, and you want to refocus on that and say a bracha. So if I have something, let's say, a good liquor. What's a good liquor? That's shahakal that you can drink by yourself. Maybe tequila. I don't know. Tequila's not that good. I'm trying to think if there's any iced tea or something like that. Some good peach Snapple iced tea. You have some iced tea, and you also have something pastrami. Pastrami is pretty good, So you got pastrami and you got iced tea, even though they're on the table, and you can make a bracha on one and exempt the other one. Hashem wants you to give significance to each of them, to focus. These are different types of foods. I got to focus on each one of them and say a specific shahakol niyabedvaro on each one to focus. This is a delicious food, and this is also a delicious food. So even though technically I could exempt it, they're on the table together, or I had in mind, I knew both of them were there. Nonetheless, I really feel you should be making a separate bracha, even if it's the exact same bracha, on different types of food, because the whole purpose of Birchas Hanehenin is to focus on the food, focus on the uniqueness of the food and how much you're going to enjoy it, and by focusing on it, it helps you enjoy it. So that's the last halacha that I would say based on all this, all my shtickle Torah over here, all that I've told you. I believe this is the truth. And I believe that the truth behind Birchas Hanehenin, it's called Birchas Hanehenin. Birchas are people who enjoy things. It's to help you focus on the enjoyment. And really, that's what brachas are, and that's the point of eating. Eating, you got to use it in the right way. Even eating, you say it's so easy to enjoy the world. It's not so easy to enjoy this world. It's very hard. We need the Torah to teach us how to enjoy this world. That's what the whole Torah is about. That's the sod of the whole Torah. Now, to us nowadays, we don't understand this. We think putting these black boxes on, or holding an esrog and a lulav, or eating matzah is something that we enjoy. Don't fool yourself. Don't tell you that you actually like matzah. You don't like matzah. This is the way the rabbis understood what the Torah Shal Parent Torah are teaching us right now. That one of these black boxes is not an enjoyable thing, and it hurts a little bit. When the straps are a little tight. So this is what we should do now. I'm not saying not to do this. You should do this now because this is our best understanding of it. But one day, hopefully, I'll get together with a bunch of rabbis and I'll tell them all my chidushim, and they'll agree with me. I'll bring all the proofs from the Gemaras, which will all be in from my Iyun with Ben Sion on the Daf Yomi, and Iyun with Mit Sion from the Mishnahs. We'll put it all together. We'll put all the understanding of the Torah together, and we'll come up with the sod of the Torah, which I tell you in increments in all my shiurim. So you piece all the shiurim together, one huge shtickle Torah, and we'll convert the Torah from doing things which seemingly are trivial or meaningless or not understandable to things which make a lot of sense, and really a chachma that the nations could be proud of to learn. Because wisdom of the Torah, what are the nations of the world interested? If any regular person in the world, secular person, right? You go after your pleasure and you avoid pain. So if the Torah is something which teaches us how to increase our pleasure in this world as much as possible, that's what the guide of the Torah. That really is a chachma. That's wisdom that the nations are going to want to hear. That's really what the Torah is really about. So you heard a little bit of my, of my belief of what Torah is. You'll hear more about it going forward. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.